Hey, it's your girl Nancy Red, and this is season 3 of Mompreneurs, where we celebrate beautiful Black entrepreneurs who are also amazing moms. Now, each week I'm chatting with my guests about how they're killing it simultaneously as a business mogul and a masterful mom, and we're listening to their inspiring journeys and incredible advice. Now, during the pandemic, many of us wanted to start a business, and some of us did. A lot of moms started home-based businesses to take advantage of the captive audience. But my next mompreneur was like, you know what? After being a successful hair and beauty expert for decades, like internationally successful, this is the perfect time for her to follow up her dream of wanting to open a Caribbean restaurant, and not just anywhere, but in the heart of Times Square, which is incredible. Jasmine Gerald did just that. And here we are a few years later with not just one successful restaurant, but two. And she's here to tell us all about her journey. Welcome, Jasmine.
Oh, thank you guys so much for having me. Super, super excited.
Well, you are super, super exciting. You have lived a life.
Listen, I have.
Now, before we get too far into the business side of things, I always like to get a little personal. Who in your life puts the mom in mompreneurs? Who is in your household?
Well, I could say my mom, definitely. She's the reason why I'm such an entrepreneur. I mean, we are from the Virgin Islands. My mom is from Dominica. And she always said, whatever you put your mind to, just do it to your best of your ability and you can. And my mom, she actually ran a restaurant in the Virgin Islands, a French restaurant. So that's where I never thought I would be in a restaurant business, but growing up in it, and I love food and I love to entertain. So I was able to open up too, and I'm excited. And I'm a mother of two. I have a 28-year-old and I have a 26-year-old. They're my everything, my heartbeat. Everything I do is for them. And just building that legacy. So leave for them and
You
their children and their children. So, God is good. I can't complain.
That's absolutely incredible. And it's really cool that you got to grow up seeing your mom as a mompreneur. Like she had a French restaurant in the Virgin Islands. That's incredible. What was it like growing up in a business?
Oh, well, it was great because my mom ran the restaurant and she just meeting people from all over the world. So, every time I come in, I was just meeting different people and just learning about just different foods and different tastes because it was a French restaurant, but it was in the Caribbean. So just, growing up, eating escargot, eating certain delicacy of food, I was just like, oh my God. And just the people that I met, I just remember the memories of just, St. Thomas, of course, you have cruise ships, it's all about tourism, but because it was a French restaurant, you had like such an eclectic group of people that came in that also was like instrumental in my life as well. Yeah.
When did you decide to start your own business? Like at what point, which came first? Were you a mom? Were you a kid? What was the first business you can remember dipping
No.
your toe in?
Well, when I went to college, I love beauty. I always modeled. I was modeling for Bronner Brothers and they were doing hair shows. So I used to be in the back looking at how they created all these styles. And I was just like, I was in the college at the same time. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to go back home to the dorm and start practicing these hairstyles of my girlfriends. And that's how I started making money doing hair and nails in my dorm. And then, of course, finished school and then came back to New York. And I was just like, you know what? I want to get into cosmetology. And that's when the journey started with hair and beauty. And then I did that for, I still do it part time, but still, then I started the hair salon during COVID. No one can travel anymore. Um, I was here and an opportunity was presented to me. And I was just like, you know what? I saw the space and I just fell in love with it. Within 3 months, we were operating. Of course, at that time, people couldn't dine, but, it's been an amazing and crazy journey at the same time. But I'm super,
Okay,
super
so
grateful.
you should be grateful. This is really cool. So really quickly, because you said I started the hair salon during COVID. The hair
Oh,
salon you
no.
started that. What year did you start your hair salons?
Oh, I started a hair salon. Oh my God. started working for someone when I was 19 years old, and then just move into it and then opened up my own space when I was 27. 27.
And did you
Yes.
have your babies at that point?
At that point, I did. So I was working and doing hair at times when I didn't have babysitter. My kids was right there in the shop with me. It's just like I just had to work it out, just like we mom do. Have no choice. You have to do what you have to do. And it also
Well,
showed my kids how to be entrepreneurs as well. Like they know how to just get in and help and be supportive, and they know what it takes. They know the struggle. They know what they need to do to succeed in life. So it definitely, my kids are just super amazing. Super amazing. They just understand what needs to get done. They grow up understanding that, you have to do what you need to do to succeed in life. And as a family unit, that's what we do. My family works in the restaurant too. My son manages it. My mom helps prep the food at the restaurant. My daughter hosts. My partner for life, he helps manage. So it's a family business, you know.
it's so good. And so here you are. You're now 3 years into the first restaurant, right?
No, we're going to be 5 years, November 3rd.
You started right at the beginning of the pandemic.
Yes,
Okay,
November
so you
3rd
started
will be five
no,
years.
November 3rd, 2020 is
Yes.
when you opened up this restaurant. And a very difficult time, but here you are now. You have two. How did you go from one restaurant in Times Square to two very close to each other at that?
Yes. So how it happened was Jasmine's is small. And everyone is like, at 10:30, 11 o'clock, we close, where to go. So I'm sending them to all these other restaurants. And then some, we couldn't hold space in Jasmine's. So I was like, you know what? Let me create like a speakeasy vibe, like after theater. We close at 1:32, real jazz, still has Caribbean with a French fusion. And that's how Samir came about. It was just like creating a space so that we could do catering, you know, we can send people to a place where people could come in and lounge at night, real sexy, different environment, that's how it came about. I just wanted, and Samir means for the love of everyone. So I wanted to in French. So everything I do is with love. Like Jasmine's is one love. Samir is for the love of everyone. Like I want a place where people could come in and really just feel the love, enjoy the ambience, enjoy the food, enjoy the drinks. When people walk into Samir, they're like, wow, because Jasmine's is colorful, family friendly, loud Caribbean music, lots of fun. And Samir is just like sexy, smooth. So I just wanted to create two different restaurants and also a place where we can host more people and, more live entertainment.
It's incredible. So we go from being in your mom's French restaurant in the Virgin Islands to being a model in college to doing hair to working for someone else's salon to having some kids and starting your own salon and then opening up another salon overseas. And then here we are, beginning of the pandemic, opening up a Caribbean restaurant. And now you have two restaurants. You have a speakeasy and the Caribbean restaurant. This is a lot. Besides the restaurants, are your salons still running? Or are you just now a restaurateur? Are you dabbled in beauty? I like to refer to it as the hierarchy of your hustle. So I know the restaurants right now are main focus, but
Yes.
do you still have your salons? You said you'd still do a
Yes.
little bit of hair.
Yes, still do a little bit of hair part-time. I'm working on relaunching my holistic hair care line, but my main focus is the restaurants right now and other things that I'm looking into right now. Well, those are like the restaurants are my main focus right now. But still, hair is what I love, my passion. That's my creative. I love for people to come in and they give me the leeway to do whatever I want to do. So, I would never give up hair. But now I'm just, relaunching my hair care brand and really focusing on that right now and the restaurants.
So there's such a difference between like a product line and online business and businesses that require storefront, like butts in seats. And you've done two different kinds. You've done the hair salons, and now you have restaurants. What's the difference? What do you say? Which one do you think is harder, hair salons or restaurants?
Restaurants. Restaurant is totally, totally different. You're responsible for people. Of course, you can't please everyone. Just managing a restaurant is totally different. Hair salon, people come in, they book their appointment, you do their hair, they go home. Restaurant is 24/7. Something could break. Someone doesn't want to show up. You have a party, comes 10 people, then they want to come with 15 people, then you have to find space for those people. You have someone that say they wanted oxtail, then they change their mind and they want jerk chicken. You have people that walk in who doesn't have reservation that wants us to seat right now. You have people calling on the phone. It's always something constant. But for me, I love it because it has shown me how, well, I never take anything personal, but definitely I don't take anything personal because people's actions and how they feel has nothing to do with me. As a Black woman in this business, um, it's trying. It's very trying. I could say, that's what I could say nicely. It's very trying. But you know what? I persevere. I stay balanced. I stay positive. I have an amazing team of people that help me, and I'm super grateful for that believe in the vision, believe in the restaurants. So team is so important. Without my team, I don't think that I'll be able to do it. So, but it's difficult. It's the hardest thing I've ever done in my life.
Wow. But it's the thing that, like you said earlier, you think will create generational wealth for your family. Like you
Yeah,
said, your son
yeah,
is managing Jasmine's, your
yeah.
Caribbean restaurant.
Yes. Yes, and that's the reason why. That's the reason why I gave him an opportunity because my son didn't know which direction he wanted to take. And it's so funny. It's just like now he's running a restaurant and I'm looking at him like at 26, like, oh, I'm so proud of you. Like he takes it serious, separates the personal from the business, and he gets it done. And that's what brings the joy because it's something that I believed in and he grew up in. And the fact that he's taken the initiative, he's being very serious about the business and he loves what he does, is important to me. And this is the fulfillment that I get from it. The joy. Regardless of all the other things, that's what I get from it. The joy of seeing what I'm building and my children are involved and how my mother, who's 72, who, she comes in and she's preparing the food and she's so proud and it keeps her energetic. It keeps her lively, and she's able to talk to the people. So, that's the fulfillment I get from it, regardless of the difficulties at times. The love and the joy overrides everything else.
Has your son, like, it's hard with these kids, right? Do they ever fully acknowledge their moms? But has your son acknowledged, has he said, thank you, mom, for this amazing opportunity?
Oh, you don't understand. He's so amazing. So he just left and he saw me. He was like, "Oh, mom, you look so beautiful." And he's like, "Why are you dressed up in the house?" I was like, "Oh, I'm going to do a podcast." He's like, "Are you nervous?" I said, "A little." He was like, "You're going to be okay." He was like, "You're going to be okay, mommy." And he always tells me he's proud of me. He is just so amazing and so supportive. Like he would say, it's going to be okay, mom. Don't worry. We got this. Like he's such a huge, my entire family and my staff, just super amazing.
And they've seen you grow
Mhm.
through the years. Like you said, your children were with you. Your son and your daughter
Yeah.
were with you when you made the jump from working for someone to working for yourself. And they've been there with the trajectory. How has that built resilience in your children to see your growth and to see? Because one of the things they say with a lot of kids now is they're very precious. They're very sensitive because they don't see a lot of failures. They don't get a chance to be part of the natural way the world works. But not your kids. They saw the world.
No, no. And even when they were younger, I said, money don't grow in trees. as I do understand that I'm out here hustling for you and your brother, and do understand that. I'm from the Caribbean, so they go home for the summers. Like, do understand this life that you live is not the reality. Okay, there are people out there that have less than you, that are less fortunate, and be grateful. So my kids are very, very humble. I'm always, we always volunteering, we always giving back. So they grew up. My mom has always been a giver. My mom has always been one bringing people into the home. Okay, this is what we got to do. We got to help this one. So my children grew up seeing people that are less fortunate, helping people, see me help people, have people come into our homes. So they grew up with that. So, they're not confused. They know, they understand the reality of life and understand that be grateful for what you have and just be smart about your decisions. Be smart about your decisions, and I always tell them, do what you want to do. Whatever makes you happy, do what is going to make you happy, but also understand the responsibilities of life. Don't walk in this life and say, okay, I'm going to try, I'm going to do. Your destiny is in your own hands. So my children, like my daughter's into horticulture. She has her own path. She'll help in the restaurant, but she has her vision. She has her journey. She knows what she wants to do. She's super smart. So she got it, she got it. She's so caring, so
Mhm.
caring. Yeah.
Well, you mentioned that they're humble, but you're humble, Jasmine, because you have achieved international success. What was it like, and why did you decide to open up not just a salon here in the States, but also a hair salon in, of all places, Sweden?
Yeah, I also opened up, I had two. I had a salon in Sweden and I had a salon in Nigeria.
Oh,
So,
wow.
yes, I had both. So, during the pandemic, it closed down the salon in Nigeria, you know, because of just partnership issues, and also to just, putting money into a business at the time where the economy changed in Nigeria. In Sweden, um, I couldn't do it anymore because now I'm in New York most of the time. But what I loved about Sweden, not only did we have a salon there, we also educate Swedish moms in how to take care of Afro hair. Because in Sweden, a lot of Swedish women adopt African or Latin children. And through their adoption, they have to learn how to take care of their children's hair. So I used to teach. So I was just so involved in the process of, these couples that will come and sit with me, and I'll teach them how, or they'll just come for a class and I'll teach them how to take care of their children's hair. And also to the hair care line, was doing very, very well. We um, promoted hair growth, stimulate hair growth, and also put moisture back into our clients' hair. So it's an incredible journey. It was an incredible journey, but like I said, that's not, it's on pause for right now. So many bigger and greater things gonna come out. My thing is I just need to focus at one thing at a time. And, it's there. So you'll be the
That's
first to know.
smart.
Yeah.
No,
I
but
just,
see, that's smart because a lot of people think like I got to continue to do it all. They don't want to close down the salon. They
yeah,
want to try to keep the salon and the restaurant. You would go crazy. You wouldn't
yeah,
be this calm. You wouldn't have been able to grow the business you have
yeah.
here in the States.
Yes, yes. And my partner, she's still doing it in Nigeria and Stockholm, but it's just right now, I just can't do it right now. But you never know what might happen. You never know.
So, what was the impetus? You said I really wanted to do this. The space opened up, and it was just right for me to start Jasmine's Caribbean restaurant. But like, that's not just like one of those things. You have to like leases in New York City, for example. How long is your lease on
Uh,
these restaurants? How many years?
Yeah, 10 years, but
10 years. Okay. So that's
yeah,
a whole that's like going from kindergarten to fifth grade. That's like not no, excuse me, from kindergarten to ninth grade. That's a whole lifetime of
the thing is for me, like people say, how did you open up salons in Sweden and Nigeria and these places? For me, it's like I go in, and if I could do it, I can do it. If I can't, I walk in faith and not fear. And like I said, I didn't know anything about the restaurant business other than growing up in the restaurant business. I didn't know how to run a restaurant. I didn't know how to do payroll. I didn't know how to do the POS system. I'm telling you, I went
You didn't know how
online.
to find the. Here's the thing, because another thing that you had to figure out how to find those dishwashers.
Hello. Hello. You don't even understand. I did not know anything. So what I did, I always tell my children, no question is too dumb, or you just, if you don't know something, you just ask. And that's what I did. I just asked a friend that owned a restaurant, my lawyer, I asked a friend, do you know someone? I went online, I went on YouTube, I studied, I Googled, I got, you know, I got help from people who were in the restaurant business. I mean, and I ran other businesses. So it was like, I'm very organized. So I was able to kind of maneuver, and I'm a quick learner. So, and at the time of the pandemic, it wasn't like that fast pace. So you can actually go in and whatever you mess up on, you can fix. So, thank God I had that opportunity to be able to iron out all the kinks, but also to the community. The community was super helpful. They came in at the time. They felt like when they walked into Jasmine's, they were away in the Caribbean because no one could travel. So the community, everyone was just, no, they felt like they were away. It was bright lights. You hear Caribbean music. You get in pina colada. You feel like you're away. So people were, and we didn't have alcohol. So we had all mocktails. So people were coming in like, oh my God. It's like, all the stress that's out there, I'm just glad that you have this space, you open it at this time, because it just makes us feel happy. Like people's like, I feel like I'm eating my grandmother's cooked food or my auntie cooked food, or I'm home because they couldn't travel. So it brought me joy that people felt like, oh my God, I feel like I'm away. And thank you for doing this. So, it really, it's like everything I do is about bringing love and joy to people and making people, uplifting people, making them feel good. So that was really good for us. And then we closed down and we had to do POS systems, and we had to do delivery and takeouts. And I didn't even know how to do that. So I had to figure that out. But like I said, perseverance, a team that believes, the support that I received from Times Square and the community. I can't say nothing but good things.
What's it like to have the revolving door? Because once you have this unique situation, is a lot of people stumble upon you. They're like, "Ooh!" You have a lot of people trying Caribbean food for the first time.
Yes. Yes, I do. I have a lot of people that come in because it's like the pathway to Times Square, right? So you have the restaurant, you have a lot of hotels that people just walk in and be like, "Oh my God, I've never tried Caribbean food before." And people love it. They love the food. They come in, they try something. Like the other night, I met a guy from Denmark, and he was just sitting by himself, and I was like, "Oh, welcome to Jasmine's." And I'm talking to him, and I was like, "Oh, is this your first time?" He was like, "No." He was just like, no. He was like, every time I come to New York, I come back here. So I was like, oh, when you go back, spread the word. He said, I already did. I get your emails all the time. Every time I see your emails, it makes me think of your place. And now I get to meet you. He was like so happy. When I tell you, so he's listening to the music, and we're talking about the food. And he was just like, we don't have this food in Denmark. And I was like, his name was Stein. I was like, wow. So, even that. He was like, I never had Caribbean food until I came to your restaurant. And that meant, yeah. So he comes back every time he comes to New York. He says he always comes back there. And that was my first time meeting him.
What a gift for you to be able to keep your family's heritage alive and just to have a great opportunity to give people a respite from the chaos that surrounds your restaurants. And so it's great. So you have the Caribbean restaurant for the day, you have the speakeasy for the night. What's next? Like, what is on your bucket list moving forward?
Oh my God, I'm just trying to figure it out right now.
And that's okay too. You seem to be someone who understands when they have a good thing going and they just need to let that bake.
Exactly. I'm letting this bake for now until until other things come about. But I have other things that I want to do. I definitely want to give back to the community. That's something very big that I want to do. Just trying to find out what direction I want to take with that. But, probably open up some other restaurants And definitely, I'm going to go back into the beauty business. I don't know, maybe a wellness center or something very different. Something, something where people could come in and feel good. So
A
that's
different way.
something.
So you've got the way people can come and feel good with their hair. People can come and feel good with their Caribbean food. People can come in and feel good with their live music. People can come in and feel good with their beauty treatments. You're just really a feel good kind of girl.
That's it. That's it. I mean, we only have one life to live, right? It's about creating those memories, enjoying your life, going to places that's going to make you feel good. That, you know what? Wow, that was great. I really love that food. They really treated me well, and that's what it's about, for me.
For moms listening to this and getting the itch that they want to start their own restaurant, would you suggest this as something someone do? Like what do you what type of risk tolerance do you need to have in order to go into the restaurant industry?
I said definitely if you want to go into this, you need to have the funds to be able to do this. Just make sure that you know exactly what your niche is, what is your target audience. Um, Make sure that you have someone who has done a restaurant before. Maybe you can get a consultant beforehand. Make sure you know how much money you're going to need for food, how much money you're going to need for staff, how much money you're going to need as a backup inventory, how much your rent is, how much money you're going to make, how much money you're going to make in a year. You just need to kind of know the numbers and be sure that you're able to deal with whatever comes up. Because like you said, we can have, God forbid, something happens. You got to make sure you have the backup income. Suppose you don't have a food purveyor, knowing another backup food purveyor that you need to go to if you can't find oxtail at one place. It's so many different dynamics, and you have to be willing to solve solutions. I mean, come up with solutions. When there's a problem, you have to come up with a solution. It's not a business where you can be reactive. You cannot be reactive. You have to be calm. And because it's a service business as well, it will be times that you'll be tested. And if you know that you have a quick temper, I don't think it's a business, it's a business for you. If you know that you can't deal with people, it's not something for you to do, because you will be involved. Regardless if you say, okay, I'm just going to come in and have people run it, it's easy said than done.
Because they're not going to show. Somebody got to show, and that somebody's got to be you. You have had to crawl
Exactly.
in there sick. You've had to crawl in there on holidays, celebrations.
Listen, I have times where my chef walked out. My mom and I was cooking. And that's another thing. I wasn't an amazing cook. Now I am. Because I had to jump on the stove. No, I did. I had to learn. My mom and I is on the stove cooking. Hairnet, hat, sweat. I give it to those chefs because that heat is no joke. And I tell you, no joke. It's no joke. It's times I had to wash dishes. Sometimes I had to clean a restaurant. Sometimes I had to take the linen and I had to wash it. Still do. Cups on the tables, I'm cleaning the tables off. Nothing is too big or small for me to do. And I think that's why, my family in the restaurant is just so together, because there's nothing too big or nothing too big or small for me to do or for them to do. And we all chip in.
And one thing that you mentioned is when you first got started, you didn't know anything about restaurants. You'd run
Mhm.
successful businesses, but you didn't know anything about restaurants. Did you hire a restaurant consultant or did you listen to your mother? Like, because I asked because opening up a restaurant in Times Square is not a joke. Opening up a Caribbean restaurant, you don't have that many comps. It's not like someone can say, okay, well, the French restaurant on 86 and Broadway, they have a walkthrough rate, blah, 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 blah. This is, you're operating kind of in the dark here.
Yeah. No, I did not have a consultant. When I tell you, I just asked friends. I just went in full and I just said I could do this. And I did it. We did it. We did it. It was not until after the fact. I mean, like I said, it was a slow pace. We iron out the kink. You ask questions of friends, what you don't know. you know, we have an amazing accountant, we have an amazing bookkeeper. They also help. I've learned a lot about just the percentages of businesses. How do you know if your business is growing? How, if, what is the loss? I mean, so many things I've learned. So,
And
I'm
how
gonna,
did you find those people? Because that's the thing. I think a lot of people say, I don't know where to find the accountant. I don't know where to find the bookkeeper. I don't
yeah.
even know where to find the lease.
No, I'm telling you, I have, I was in the beauty business, so I know so many different women. And there was this like, I just put it out there. I just asked question. I said, do you know a good accountant? And they will say, okay, I know an accountant who deals with this. And they was like, oh, I talked to them. It was like, oh, this is what you need, Jasmine. And it just stirred me into the right place. Luckily, my bookkeeper works with my accountant, so it just makes my life easier. Same thing with my lawyer. My lawyer works with my accountant. So everyone works together. So it just makes your life easier. I think, someone said I should do consulting, but I'm just like, to help people through these, if they want to open up a restaurant. But it is difficult if you don't know how to, if you don't have the tools to open up a restaurant. If someone wants to, you have to really, really do your research. You have to, or just really ask, you know, or they can ask me. I would, I would give them
You
the
just
answer.
that's like everyone just go flood her Insta. Say, hey, I'm trying to start my own restaurant. What and also though, one of the things you talk about with the revolving door, having your family involved, they're more reliable. Your son, he's right there. At what point did you make him a manager? Did he come in as a manager, or did he
No,
prove himself to
no.
become the manager of Jasmine's Caribbean Cuisine?
No, he was prepping food, he was washing dishes, he was a busser, he was a line cook until he started bartending and then he became the manager. Like he could jump in any part of the restaurant and help out. Like it was not a situation where he came in and he was a manager. He started from the bottom because he didn't know anything. He didn't know, so people had to train him. So now
And now
he
he's got all this expertise at just
yeah,
26. This world's his
yeah.
oyster. If he wanted to start a string of restaurants, he could. And
Yes.
that's the beauty of what you're doing.
Yes. 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 And he manages Samir one day out of the week, just so I can
Oh,
have him kind of feel the feel of a bigger restaurant, and he can manage over there, watch over it, make sure everything is running smoothly. So he's one day at Samir, but the rest of the days he's at Jasmine's.
I
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Our time's almost up, but I need you to leave our listeners with your business and life mantra, which you've already touched upon one of them, which is just to make people happy, to do good things. But are there some other words that you tend to live by that really keep you focused and grounded in the many successes that you've had? Because what you've accomplished, you say it so breezily. Oh yes, I've had salons in Nigeria and Sweden, and I've got two restaurants in Times Square. These are feats. One of these feats would be impressive for an individual, rather less all of them combined.
Yes. Um, for me, I always tell people I live my life by faith and not fear. And I know when I'm talking, it sounds like everything is okay. But me personally, I live a balanced life. It's like I cannot and I refuse to live in life of stress and negativity and chaos. What I can do, I can do. What I cannot do, I just don't do. Um, I want to live my life for my family. I don't, and I want to be the best human that I can be for me. And, it's important. You can have all the businesses and you can help everyone, but if you cannot be calm or stress free or choose you and have your peace, you can't be good for anyone. That's why I'm so calm. I have to. I have to. I have so many people that depend on me. So many people. So one of my big quotes, I say, I live by faith and not fear. Because whatever I feel that I can do, I do. And if I can't, I say I can't do it. And I believe. I believe I'm big in my faith. I believe in the Lord Jesus Christ and he gets me through it all. you know. So I just tell
Amazing.
people just stay positive, stay focused, you
And
know,
stay family first.
and family first. Family is everything. Family is everything. And don't give up.
Love it.
And don't give up. Don't give up. When times are hard, and I know as mothers where we feel like we in it by ourselves, it's so important to just find something or find someone that you can talk to, and don't suffer in silence, and don't be ashamed, you know, get that help or find someone you can talk to, you know.
I think that's really important advice because we're always helping everybody else. And
Yeah.
who's kissing our boo boos, right? Who's keeping our
Yeah.
minds straight? And like you're at a high point right now, but was there ever a time where you almost felt like you were going to give up? What was happening and how did you get over that?
I never felt like I want to give up, but it's been times where it's been difficult, you know, heartbroken, disappointments, family issues, you know, where I've had moments where of difficulty, where I had to get myself together, get my head right, and was like, Jasmine, get it together. You know, get your head right because people depend on you. And yes, you're going through this right now, but find a solution. You know, find a solution, find a way to get through it. You know, ask someone for help. If you need help, seek a therapist, seek a pastor, seek a friend that you can trust that will give you her honest opinion, and just really just fight through it because we all have issues. We all have problems. It's all about how we deal with them. You know,
Love
so
that.
my life hasn't been peaches and cream. I've been through stuff, but I just choose to deal with it in a positive way. Like you said, all bad experience for me is positive because I learned from it. Because I refuse to go through it again. And it's just a way of thinking. I
You
refuse.
only have to learn the lesson once.
Just one time. Just one time.
Listen,
That's it. That's it. All right.
I love it. Okay, you had to tell everyone where they can find both of your restaurants. But are they right next to each other? Are they catty
No.
corner? What
Yeah. Right
how does
across
this there
the
across
street.
there across? So people have to be they have to stumble across
Just
from
stumble across the street. Just
Jasmine's
cross
Caribbean Cuisine, which
to,
is
to,
what's
to,
the address for Jasmine's
uh,
Caribbean Cuisine?
and Jasmine's Caribbean Cuisine address is 371 West 46th Street, New York City. And Samir, NYC, is 338 West 46th Street, New York City. And you can find us on on Instagram and any social media at Jasmine's Caribbean Cuisine and Samir NYC on Instagram or Facebook or TikTok.
And what's the cross street on 46?
Is between 8th and Ninth Avenue.
Amazing. So, okay, when people come for the first time, what do they absolutely have to order?
Ooh, at Jasmine's, ooh, everyone loves our Scandal Rum Punch. The oxtails is really good. We have a jazzy pasta. So the originator of the jazzy pasta, Basil Jones, is our chef. So he makes amazing. It's a Rasta pasta, but we call it jazzy pasta. So everyone loves our jazzy pasta. I mean, everything is great. Our stewed chicken, our curry chicken, our rice and peas with plantains. We have homemade empanadas. We have coconut shrimp. We have the jerk wings. Our jerk chicken is amazing on the grill, smoked, super, super delicious. Or we have escovitch red snapper. That's, with the whole head, with the whole fish. So that's really good. And all our drinks are good. We have the Scandal Rum Punch. We have the One Love Colada. We have the Island Gal, the Pepper Seed. So we, we have some really
Okay, you've got it all. You
good.
have quite the menu. And then for a change of taste, what should they order at your French speakeasy?
So at Samir, of course, we have Caribbean dishes like we have the pulled oxtail, but we have amazing black bass, super super delicious. We have the escargot. That's
Ooh. All from
so
your childhood. Is it your mom's recipe?
no, it's actually basil, but of course my mom had to tweak it a little bit because it's French but with Caribbean flavors. So of course it's like, you have like the flavors in there. So it's not like just the lemon and, olive oil and stuff. So you have like Caribbean seasonings in it as well. So the escargot is super, super delicious. We have the Macheria More, one of our drinks. That's really, really good. Um, Everything is delicious. Oh, we have lamb chops. The lamb chops is really, really good too. We have a snapper over there, but it's fillet, so it's made differently from Jasmine's. And like I said, our oxtails is pulled oxtail, so it's not on the bone like at Jasmine's. Um, we have some macaroni and cheese over there. I mean, the menu is super. It's different from Jasmine's, but of course you have a little bit of the Caribbean twist in there. So
What's fun
every
is you got people trying Caribbean food for the first time at Jasmine's, but then Samir, you have Caribbean food perhaps trying French
Yes, and that's
cuisine
what they
for the
said. And
first
then
time.
that's what they say. They always come in, but like, I would have never had snails before. I would have never tried the bass. I swear to you. They were like, I would have never. So it definitely, so people who have never had Caribbean food, before are eating Caribbean food, and the people who have never had French food who are Caribbean are now eating French food. So it's like,
I love it. You're changing lives.
exactly. Great. And we have entertainment at both restaurants. So on Saturday nights, we have a DJ at Jasmine's, and we have a steel pan guy on Thursdays. And at Samir, we have entertainment every Thursdays, and Fridays we have R&B night. So if anyone wants to come out and just party, we both have entertainments. You could go on our IG, or you can call in and find out if we have entertainment for the night, but those nights are a blast. And you can always make reservations. I mean, walk in if you want to, but on a Thursday or a Saturday at Jasmine's, you should make a reservation.
Listen, this is amazing. You are phenomenal. Everyone, go when you are in New York City, have a blast, try something new, and learn from this incredible mompreneur. Jasmine, thank you so much.
And thank you so much for using your platform for moms and just, helping others through their business. I appreciate you, Nancy, and thank you so much for your time.
Yay! Y'all, okay, so I know as soon as you get off of this podcast, if you're in New York, you will be going to get either some Caribbean, French, or both foods. But I want to take this opportunity to thank you for listening to Mompreneurs. And as a reminder, a brand new episode goes live each Monday on Urban One Podcast Network, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and wherever you get your podcasts. Visit urban1podcast.com to learn more. That's urban, the number one podcast.com. Mompreneurs is brought to you by the Urban One Podcast Network and MadameNoire. Created, produced, and hosted by me, Nancy Red. Executive produced by Allison McGovna and Tanya Hoffler-Moore. Produced and edited by Jiminique Miller.